Come grow with us. Hey, good morning.
Come connect with us.
Come play with us.
Come worship with us.
Hey there, Pastor Shane. Thanks so much for tuning in this morning for our look back of what an incredible year 2023 has been for us. We've seen so many incredible things happen, from exponential church growth to people being healed and God restoring families and relationships and just bringing us together as a community. And we've just been overwhelmed but not surprised at how incredible God is. And so let's just take a minute and look back on what a great year it has been. We're going to hit the highlights, the big events, the things that created community, and just see everything that's happened here at the Bridge this year. But let's start off with some worship.
And I don't have a contest for that kind of love. I don't understand, I can't comprehend. All I know is I need run to the Father. I fall into grace. I'm done with the hiding, no reason to wait. My heart needs a surgeon, my soul needs a friend. So I run to the Father again and again and again and again.
Dale Loggins approached me about doing a women's retreat for the Bridge. I thought that girl was out of her mind, but her and Whitney got their brains together. Her and Whitney Graves, they head up our women's ministry and got some teachers, found a facility, and I mean, it was incredible. So much fun for the women, and connections were made, friendships were made, lives were changed, worship happened, and it's pretty incredible. And they're pretty good dancers, as you'll see here in a minute. We only got to do one community night this year, but it was a doozy. Community nights are just that. We just get together, we cook some food, we hang out outside, games are played, and people just sit around and visit and get to know each other and create community. We got to do one in the spring, and fall was so busy we didn't get a chance to do one then, but the one in the spring was great. Easter is always a big time for churches. You know, we kind of get ready for the big crowds, and more than that, we actually saw kind of what our church looked like. Yeah, we had lots of visitors, but so many people. You know, we have people that are in and out, and this service and that service, and this Easter was kind of a really cool opportunity to be able to see our entire church family at a couple of services, and it was pretty awesome, and it was a great Sunday. Worship is vital. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be present. It doesn't have to be perfect. So we started a Bible study on Wednesday nights a couple of weeks ago. And after service, there's some kids that like to get up here and sing and dance on the stage after service. It's so great and it's so fun. So there's this, we have a couple that comes to our church. They're right here on the front, Miles and Heidi Stallard. And there's no reason to applaud for them, but I mean, that's you had one fan, Amanda, Miles and Heidi. And they have a daughter, and her name's Stassi, right? And Stassi gets up, we're all filing out, and everybody's just kind of talking to each other after the Bible study. And Stassi's up here, and she's just dancing. He sent me a video, but you couldn't really hear the audio through it well. But anyway, she's going, "Open up the heavens. We want to see you. Open up the floodgates, a mighty river," right? She's just singing it. And I noticed it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's so great. And I don't know what happened in like the 15 seconds when I looked away, but when I looked back up here, she was going, "Apple bottom jeans and the boots with the fur. Whole club was," and she shorty got low, 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 low. I mean, I know worship don't have to be perfect. It just has to be present. So our worship leader, Aaron Brooks, approached me with an idea that said, hey, why don't we do an event the Sunday after Easter That way the people who are here on Easter would be able to come back, and maybe we could get them to come to church one more time and they would find something they like, meet somebody they know, plug in. I thought it was a really great idea. So we put this thing together called the Post-Easter Shindig. Yeah, no one liked the name at first, but I think it stuck. So the Post-Easter Shindig was just going to be an opportunity for our church to we're going to have some food trucks and some bounce houses and just have fun after service. And what happened was word got out in the community, and what was supposed to be a day for, a couple of hundred people ended up being a day for 600 to 700 people that rolled through here. We fed everyone for free. Women face painted people's faces for hours upon end. There was a petting zoo. There was bounce houses. No one was charged one thing. So many volunteers. So many people made it happen. Not to mention the most is Butch and Terry Garner, who were just the MVPs of the Post-Easter Shindig, and it was a shindig indeed. Honestly, I think the coolest thing we got to do this year was change the lives of some seniors. Here's Russell on a Sunday morning talking about it.
Weeks ago, Carol Pendergrass brought to our attention 8 graduating seniors. We've been talking about that over the last couple of weeks, who are homeless. They're making it happen. They're going to walk the stage come Friday night. We shared that need to partner, to see them, to hear them, and partner with them in the midst of this moment. We put that before you, and it's mind-blowing. We gathered $11,600 over 2 weeks, which means every student received $1,450 plus a $50 gift card. But there were incredible responses. We're told tears were abundant in the hallways when this was happening. One young woman said that she's going to college. She has received scholarships and financial aid for that, but she didn't have living expenses covered, and this money will help through the course of that. It's one thing to get your books and room and board and all that, but you got to eat and you got to live, and we stepped in and we've partnered with her, and now she's blessed in that way. Another young man said he is now able to go in and pay several months of rent because he and 4 other friends are going to get a place, and he's got rent covered for the next several months, and the first time in a long time he's got his own roof over his head. And so we moved in there. Great thing. Here's the amazing thing. I know we didn't solve every problem in the lives of these 8 students, but we redeemed this moment for them and with them. And that's what God calls us to do. And we stepped in, we partnered with these kids, we gathered in a community, and we brought them some redemption to the moment, which makes their walking across the stage on Friday look just a little bit different.
He can't do it. Don't you tell me he can't do it. I see cities in revival and salvation flood the streets. Don't you tell me he can't do it. Don't you tell me he can't do it. We see glory fill the nations like the world has never seen. Don't you tell me he can't do it. 'Cause I know that he can, and I believe you're the wonder-working God. You're the wonder-working.
Well, I guess the biggest thing that happened this year as far as the bridge future goes is that we purchased 1.3 acres to the north of our church, and we began putting together building plans and ideas for what growth here at the bridge would look like. It's a big undertaking, and it's going to take a lot of funds, but we're just counting on God math to be able to get us across the finish line in a timely manner and see what He has in store. But it's exciting, bigger land, and here's some of the shots of the ideas of what the new sanctuary will kind of look like. I would say the biggest change that's happened at the bridge in 2023 has been the amount of young families we've been able to bring in and have been attracted to our church and stayed and been a part of it. And I believe that's a direct result of an incredible children's ministry and a loving youth ministry. And we've just seen both of those ministries bring in so many kids to just wrap their arms around and care for. And Shiloh, who heads up our children's ministry, Steve Salazar and Amanda head up our youth group, and man, they are top notch. So many people have found their way to the bridge through one simple thing we do every year, and that's the Christmas parade. We put together a little float, and then we put a bunch of bridge people in hoodies, and we hand out tons of candy, and we just love on people. And a lot of people, you can hear them as we walk through the crowd saying, "What's the bridge? Where's the bridge?" And it's pretty awesome. And this year was our biggest spectacle yet. We had close to 70 people who rode or walked in the Christmas parade, and it was awesome. We do a lot of events here at the church that sometimes we forget to take a lot of photos and things kind of get by us, and so we weren't able to put full sections together. But a lot of our ministries, we've got a few photos here and there, and some events that we just got a few photos of. So here's a collection of kind of all that stuff. One, our worship night, which was, I literally believe worship night was a direction-changing night for our church, and it was powerful. And then our incredible baptismal service that happened this summer. Check these photos out. So this lady that goes to our church, her name is Heidi Easley. She invited me to speak at her business convention. She runs a company called Texas Art and Soul, and it was such a great experience for me to go and kind of give a motivational speech to all of the people that kind of work under her. And after a couple weeks after that, I messaged her and I was like, hey, what if we did this at the church? You know, what does it take to book you? What does it take to get you guys in and us do a women's event with one of your famous paint parties? And she said, we would love to do one, pick a date, and it wouldn't cost the church anything. As a matter of fact, we'll take every dollar that we raise and we'll donate it to the Bridge Building Fund. Incredible, and it was a big night. Thanks to all who came. And thanks to Texas Art and Soul for your generosity. Isn't it crazy that we wonder what kind of God God's going to be, yet all we have to do is look at Jesus to know what kind of God God is? You don't have to wonder the heart of God, because Jesus' heart looked like the heart of God. And Jesus was moved with compassion. Jesus showed empathy for those who were hurting. Jesus cared about the kids who ran out of wine at the wedding. Jesus felt moved by a crippled man's faithful friends who brought him to him. Jesus felt for a hurting father whose child was dying. Jesus was indignant to battle the demonic and the devil forces that people were struggling with. Jesus wept. Jesus washed people's feet. Jesus fed the hungry. Jesus cleansed the lepers. Jesus calmed the storm. Jesus filled the fishing nets. Jesus suffered sorrow and shame to cover our sin. If he looks like God, don't tell me God doesn't care. God cares about all of it. Well, it's only been a couple of weeks ago, but our Christmas services were a blast. The house was packed, both services, and we had the Santa's workshop outside. We had a photo op here in the foyer. We gave away free new bridge t-shirts that are really cool. And it was a great day. Not to mention, we worshiped our Savior, and we fed on the Word, and people left encouraged and built up for the holiday season, and it was a great day. Well, that about wraps everything up. It's been a big year, a big 2023 for the Bridge, and we are just expecting an incredible 2024, and why wouldn't we? God has gone before us in everything, and He has turned small things into big things. He has turned things that we didn't even see into things that we couldn't miss. And so we just encourage you to continue to be a part of this ministry. Find a place to plug in, find a place to serve, find where you fit in this community, find a small group that works for you, and we look forward to an incredible 2024 with you. God bless you.